It's a crazy animal, man.
Yeah, crocs freak me out. But I kind of mess when I'm playing golf. I play a lot of golf. When I'm in Florida, I always mess with the gators. Like I'll grab them by the tail.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
And it's kind of, I don't know. It's just like
it's fun until you get your arm bit off, dude.
Yeah, I guess. But this guy's not even worried. He doesn't even need to backstep. You know, he's like.
Well, those are smaller.
Yeah, but thing's still gonna rip your arm off if it death rolls.
But that's so small in comparison to those other ones.
I was fishing in Australia in this freshwater river, but it goes down to the ocean, so saltwater crocs come up it. To a certain point, there's like this dam, and they don't go past that. So up here's all the fresh water, down here's fresh and saltwater. And we saw a few 15-foot crocs this day. And we're in a boat that was 6 feet wide and about 18 feet long, 18 feet long. And, the guy taking us, he said, we don't have a problem in this boat, but, if you fell out of the boat, there's a fucking problem. But he was telling us a story one day how he's fishing with these guys, and this one guy standing up in the boat fishing, he falls out of it. And the guy was about 250 pounds or something, like a big dude, like maybe 300 pounds. He was like a big overweight guy. And he fell out of the boat, and the guy said the guy was in the water for about 2 minutes. And he was just like, any second, this guy is dead. He's like, there's nothing I can do. And he said it was all they could do they had to get him from the front of the boat. He was trying to come up the side, and he couldn't, and he was panicking. So when people go into panic mode, like when people are drowning and they're panicking, they say you got to punch them in the face and try to knock them out and calm down. And they couldn't punch this guy. Like they were trying to get him to calm down, and they had to get him all the way to the back of the boat because they had to get him up the transom. And they said from there they could get leverage and lift him, and it wouldn't flip the boat or whatever.
Right.
But he said this guy was in the water for a couple minutes, and he's like, at any time, there's a croc that's big enough to eat you within sight of us here at all times. But this guy said that, the biggest, I said, what's the biggest one you ever seen? Because we've seen 15-foot crocs like every 20 minutes, every half an hour. We see a 15-foot.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, no, giant freaking croc.
Really?
Yeah, and we're fishing.
Oh, my God.
And we were fishing for barramundi.
That's a crazy fish.
Yeah. So we're fishing for barramundi, and I keep thinking, like, I don't know, when you got one in the line, is like a shark, will it bite that thing or whatever? And anyways, we start asking the guy, what's the biggest one you ever saw? And he said, Mike, the biggest one I ever saw was about 28 feet.
28 feet?
Yeah, 29 feet maybe. And he said he's only seen it once, and he saw it from about a kilometer away, and they estimated the size. And he said these guys in a helicopter saw it once. And it doesn't stay in the river, it stays out in the ocean. And he said it's so smart, it knows it's in silty water where nothing can see it. There's nothing as big as it. It owns its territory,
28 feet.
Yeah, and he said that the back, we're in the 6-foot boat, and he said if this thing, he goes, I tell you this how big they are. He goes, this one would be. He said if it was under our boat, it would be sticking out about 4 to 6 feet on either side across its back sideways. And we're in a 6-foot wide boat. So he said it'd be like 15 foot across the back, its back. Like that's how.
What the fuck?
So think of the girth of something that big.
15 feet across the back?
Yeah, that's what this guy told me. I don't know. We didn't see it.
Oh my God.
But I mean, we're seeing, 15 footers that are like, its girth close to that. Like a great white, when you see a 15-foot great white, its girth is 15 feet, pretty much.
They're so fat.
Yeah, once they get like 10 feet, then they start getting fat and their girth gets about the length of them. So if you see a 15 or 20-foot, 18-foot great white and you measure their girth, it's pretty much their length.
How big do crocs get?
I don't know. This guy said, I don't know. This guy's claiming it's like, must be the biggest croc in the world. But there was one they called Gus or something in Africa. I used to late night just YouTube this stuff. And they were saying this is one that had eaten, like, they think it's eaten over 100 or 200 people in these villages.